Hello everyone, welcome to Amrita S monthly current affairs series, and we're starting with the defense, starting with the June month. So June month we'll have very small session, actually defense. We don't have much stuff in the June and July both. In the July we'll have more, but in the June month we don't have a lot of stuff. But we'll discuss those 5 questions as we have promised. So first one is the Dare to Dream challenge. So basically this Dare to Dream challenge from the name it can be confusing. Okay, so this is organized by the DRDO. Okay, so from the name itself, Dare to Dream, so it can be related to startups. It is related to actually startups. It can be related to the IT sector. It can be related to education sector, health sector, in that regard. But it is related to the defense sector. The idea is to promote the innovators and startups for innovation in the defense and aerospace technology after the call of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Okay, so basically it is some type of hackathon or some sort of challenge, so competitive spirit, so participate, improve and innovate products and we'll give you awards, that sort of a thing. In fact, you will find in the recent times it has been one of the themes to engage the startups and the innovators all around the country. So Dare to Dream challenge on the anniversary of the APJ Abdul Kalam, the DRDO has launched it. Okay, right, so eligibility, the individuals and the startups both can participate in that. Next is Hammer missile. So Hammer missile is basically, the idea is recently why it is in the news, because India has decided to put these Hammer missiles in our Rafale, and it was done on the very it was not done in the starting, but with seeing this Chinese aggression, so India has decided to very quickly order these missiles from France, and France has decided, okay, we will oblige as well. So Hammer means highly agile module munition extended range missile. So it is basically range is only 60 kilometers, and this is highly suited for the high altitude, and that is why it is said that it can be a game changer in the Ladakh, which is a high altitude battle if any battle happens there. Okay, so it's a medium range air to ground weapon designed by the for the French Air Force and the Navy, and now been given to the India as well. Okay, so it will fit it in the Rafale. So India to equip Rafale jets with the Hammer missile under the emergency order. Okay. Next is the 2 missiles which are already there in the Rafale. First is Scalp, second is Meteor. So we just need to know these missiles and why these missiles are in the news. First of all, remember all these missiles have come from the France itself. Okay, right. So Scalp is a long range air launched stand-off attack missile designed and developed by the France. Comparing with the Hammer, so Hammer has a short range, that is 60 kilometers, but Scalp has a larger range for strategic level targets. Okay, so remember, air launch stand-off attack missile designed and developed by the France. So obviously why it is in the news, because Rafale everywhere Rafale was in the news in the June month. So it was armed with the Scalp and the Meteor missiles. What about these Meteor missiles? These missiles have been developed by this company. We have discussed this company, MBDA. So this company developed this missile for the 6 European nations, UK, Germany, Italy, France, Spain and Sweden. And now these will be fitted to the Rafale. It is same also beyond 100 kilometers it can target. And the idea is it goes beyond Scalp missile. It beyond visual range air to air missile. Okay. So it is even more, it can strike even beyond the Scalp missile. So depending upon the target, actually, one can choose these missiles. And this can basically seize as a competitive to the missiles that are being used by the Pakistan F-35, the airplane or the fighter jets given to the Pakistan by the USA. So the missiles given by the USA, basically you can say it is a competitive to it. So it will take on the US supplied missiles used by the Pakistan in the Balakot airstrikes. Okay, after the Balakot airstrikes done by the India. Right. So these are the only 4 facts we have for the defense this month. In the July, we'll have a little bit more. But quickly, let's move to the questions. So interesting questions I have kept. First question is, if you travel by road from Anshi National Park to the Neora Valley National Park, which is the minimum number of states within India through which you can travel, including the origin and the destination. I think in 2018, UPSC asked a similar sort of a question, right? So I will say pause the video, just give it a go, at least 2 to 3 minutes, give it a go. what answer you are coming up with. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds, so then we will move on. So you can, because obviously in the 5 seconds you cannot answer this, just pause the video and try to give the answer. So what should be our approach? First of all, in this question, first of all, you need to know where this is situated, where this is situated. That is the very first challenge, right? So for example, in that I think came the Kohima to Kottam. I think that was the case. So Kali National Park, actually Kali Tiger Reserve is the Anshi National Park, and we have discussed that in our Tiger Reserve. So it is situated in Karnataka, and this Neora Valley National Park, it is situated in the West Bengal. So how many states will come in between, right? So how to go about this question? Let us see India's political map. Now these type of a question can come feature in again, and if not there in UPSC, but it will be somewhere in the test series or in some sort of these questions. One of the trick to prepare this question is to prepare it and from a strategic level. What you can do, you can make a list. This particular state, for example, Karnataka touches how many states? Okay. Similarly, West Bengal touches how many states? Similarly, you need to know about each and every state so that you have the location. Okay, this state touches these number of states. Let us assume that Karnataka touches Maharashtra, Karnataka touches Telangana, it touches Andhra, it touches Tamil Nadu, it touches Kerala. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and touches Goa. So it touches the 3 states, right? Okay. Then we have Telangana, let's assume, or we have, let's say, AP, Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh touches Telangana, Andhra Pradesh touches Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh touches Odisha. Then we have Odisha touches Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal and Jharkhand. So when you know this, when you have this idea in mind, okay, Karnataka touches these states, then this touches these states, this touches this state, and from that you can give it a go. Because you cannot clearly draw the map, you can obviously draw the map, but exact boundaries you may forget. And you can remember only and only if you have a proper list and a proper revised list. This will not happen in one day. This will take time to prepare. Okay. So when you know about this, even if you don't have the map, you know Karnataka. From Karnataka, I have 2 paths. Okay. Karnataka to Telangana. From then Telangana touches to Chhattisgarh. Telangana touches to Andhra Pradesh. Then Telangana to Chhattisgarh. Then Chhattisgarh to Jharkhand. Then to West Bengal. Or Chhattisgarh to Odisha to West Bengal. Okay. These are 4 states. 1, 2, 3, 4. One other option can be Andhra Pradesh. One other option can be Andhra Pradesh, then can be Odisha, and then can be West Bengal. So it only touches 1, 2, 3 and 4 states, and that touches the 5 states. So the answer will be 4 states. It seems easy on the map, but it is a really tough question to answer, right? So what you have to do, I think this cannot be cultivated in a very short time, but in the long run, what you can do is each and every state, how many the state touches the other state. For example, Bihar touches UP, Bihar touches Jharkhand, Bihar touches West Bengal. That's it. 3 states Bihar touches. And it is not a very big exercise as well. It is a very, very small exercise. But if the question comes, it will give you an edge over the other aspirants. And this is how it is done. It is not a hit and trial. It is not a guess. This is how the methodology of solving this question will come. Okay? Right. So the answer is 4. Next is consider the following statement with respect to the National Agriculture Higher Education Project. It is to provide more relevant and high quality education to the agriculture university students. It is funded by the ADB, that is Asian Development Bank. Krishi Megh has been set up under the National Agriculture Higher Education Project. Try to answer this question. Okay, so what will be the answer? It is not funded by the ADB, it is funded by the World Bank. Okay, so it is not the ADB that is funding it, World Bank is funding it along with the Government of India. Now from the name itself, National Agriculture Higher Education Project. So obviously the idea is to provide more relevant and high quality education to the agriculture students. University. Actually, I've interacted with many of the agriculture university students, so it was a wonderful interaction as well. And it is in tune with the national education policy. It is also highly relevant for our agriculture sector, for which the extension services assumes a very, very critical role, okay, to improve the yields, to provide qualitative inputs with respect to the market intelligence, with respect to the weather forecast, with respect to the material that is being used. So a lot of things the agriculture, the farmers will get through if they get access to this kind of an information, and the students can be a good bridge to it. And the Krishi Megh is basically a data recovery center under the ICAR. Okay, it is set up under this National Agriculture Higher Education project. So you can see it is more of a e-governance project under for the agricultural sector. Okay, Krishi Megh, right? Okay. So what will be the answer? Answer will be option 1 and 3. It is not funded by the Asian Development Bank. It is funded by the World Bank. Next is recently inducted weapon Varun Astra is a electricity propelled torpedo, surface to air short range missile, anti-tank missile, intercontinental ballistic missile. What is this? Okay. So what will be the answer? We have discussed actually this Varun Astra. So Varun Astra is the just one second. It is an anti-submarine electrical torpedo. Okay. Indigenously built and one of the 8 countries to have the capability to build such system. So it is an electrical torpedo. So in that sense, it becomes important. So electricity propelled torpedo, right? So Varun Astra. Next is consider the following a post-independence question. Consider the following statement to decide on the creation of the linguistic states. So you have to arrange these chronologically. Dhar Commission, JVP Commission, Fazal Ali Commission, and State Reorganization Act. Very easy question. Try it out. So very easy question started with the Dhar Commission, right? Dhar Commission and JVP Commission said no, state recognition should not, reorganization should not be on the basis of the linguistic line. It was more because of to retain the unity of the Indian state, because they felt there are other factors, centrifugal forces which will take India apart, especially post the partition when the lot of fragile state of Indian state was there. Then, but the Fazali Commission said, no, we go ahead with this linguistic idea. And finally, the State Reorganization Act came and it has divided the states, 14 states and I think 6 union territories based upon the linguistic criteria. Okay. So this will be the order. First Dhar Commission, then JVP, then Fazali, then State Reorganization Act. Very easy question. Next question is, consider the following statement with respect to the recently created PM CARES funds. First is, it has been set up as a public charitable trust. Minister of Finance is the next official chairman of the PM CARES. This fund will be discontinued after the end of the COVID-19 pandemic. So easy question. So Ministry of Finance is not the ex-officio chairman. Ex-officio chairman is obviously the Prime Minister is the ex-officio chairman. Yes, the other Minister, Defense, Home Affairs, Finance, these are the ex-officio trustee of the fund. But the official ex-officio chairman is the Prime Minister only. It is a public charitable fund and it will not be discontinued after the COVID-19, but it will deal with the emergency and distress-like situation like COVID-19 pandemic. So it will be continued. Okay. So the answer is, we have to find the incorrect statements, right? So it will not be discontinued. So this is a wrong statement. This is a wrong statement. So answer will be 2 and 3. Please see the keyword also. It is incorrect. So that's the end of the session, everyone. Starting with the Dare to Dream Challenge. So DRDO, APJ Abdul Kalam anniversary decided to second phase of this Dare to Dream Challenge. So individuals and startups come together, innovate and give us a product. Defense and aerospace technology. Then Hammer missile, Scalp missile and Meteor missile we have read. All will be fitted to the Rafale. Depending upon the situation, they will be used. Hammer less 60 kilometers only, high altitude. Scalp and Meteor long range, Meteor more long range, beyond usual range. Meteor especially against the type of the weapons Pakistan has. Okay, the Pakistan missiles have, so it can be a good alternative to it or a counter to it. Then we have read about this question, Anshi National Park and Neora Valley National Park. So a trick that can be developed later on. Okay, so one thing you can prepare the states and around which states it touches. Okay, some sort of question on these lines can be asked as well. Then we discuss about National Agricultural Higher Education Project. Okay, so it is not funded by the ADB, it is funded by the Indian government and the World Bank. Then Varunastra, that is electricity propelled torpedo. Okay. Then we discussed the this creation of the linguistic state, that is Dhar Commission, JVP, Fazal Ali, and State Reorganization Commission. And lastly, we discussed about this PM Care Fund. We have discussed about this PM Care and Disaster Relief Fund, right? So please see the difference between both of them. We have discussed that in detail. Okay. So with this, we finish our session of Defense of June month. See you in the next class, everyone. Bye bye for now. Thank you.